Yo, what up guys, it's your boy Legendary here, and today people, we're going to be doing another tier list video. Today we will be doing a tier list ranking all of the main Yu-Gi-Oh! Female leads in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyway, I just repeated myself, but yeah, so I'm just going to be talking about all the main female leads. I didn't include any other female characters in the show, like My Valentine, Ghost Girl, and other characters like that. I just include the one and only main female leads from each of the series, and I'm going to talk about them. I did include Luna, as you guys can see down here, because technically she was a main female lead as well. She was part of Team 5D, so she was more important than someone like Mai or Ghost Girl, who was doing her own thing. So that's why I added her in there, but you can take her out too. It really doesn't matter to me. I don't think I'm missing anyone. I got everyone here, I'm pretty sure. 3, 6, yeah, 7. Okay. So let me see. Actually, hold on, let me think. Am I missing someone before I even start? Because I got to think about this. Am I missing somebody? So we got Taya, we got Alexis, we got Akiza and Luna, we got Katori. Oh, we forgot Yuzu. Hold on, we forgot Yuzu. Let me get back to that actually. Good. Okay, so I just fixed it right now. I added Yuzu on there. I don't know how I forgot Yuzu there, but whatever. There's Yuzu. Okay, so anyway, we're going to be talking about the main female leads. This will be a list talking about, I guess, how good they were as a female lead, what was their role in the show, how good were they in their own role, how good were they for the characters around them, and the overall show. Just like the other tier list is going to be the same concept. It's not based on who's the better duelist necessarily, or who's the better, most attractive one or whatever, who has the best deck. It's really just about who was most important for the show and the characters that they're involved in, and how relevant, I guess, were they throughout the show. Stuff like that. Okay, so anyway, let's just begin. This video probably won't be too long because, you know, as you guys know, the main female leads kind of don't get that much good representation in Yu-Gi-Oh! When it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! They just, they honestly get very forgettable after a while. You know, maybe they start off kind of good and then they end up fading away later on. But overall, it doesn't really go anywhere. You know, anywhere that far. But we'll just talk about it as we go along. So before we get started, I guess, well, actually we are going to get started. I guess let's start with Taya Gardner. So, and things will move around as I go along. I'll put Taya Gardner as B tier, I guess. I might put her to C tier. I'm not sure just yet. But so characters like Taya and Katori, they're not duelists, right? And neither is Roman, technically. She's not a duelist either. But she, you know, she's not meant to be. She's not supposed to be a duelist. Yet she did have a couple victories on her as well, so that's pretty impressive. She's just not interested in dueling, but her role is to be the cheerleader of the show, and that's what she does. And as a cheerleader, I guess she does pretty well. She does kind of go on about friendship a little bit too much, and you know, it's kind of a meme in it. I don't know if that's also in the sub or that's more of a dub thing, but as far as I'm aware of, she mostly just talks about like friendship a lot, which is fine. I don't find it that annoying, but you know, she doesn't do too much. But when she does have to step up and she, you know, she has to duel and stuff like that, I think she usually gets the victory, or she usually steps up. She has a very cool, you know, she has a good attitude and this and that, you know, she's spunky, she's tough, and this and that. So, you know, she's a cool chick. She's definitely cool, and she's very sweet, very kind-hearted. I feel like, you know, she's a good supporting friend to Yuki and everyone else. She's not that relevant. Like, you take her out of the story, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But I guess, you know, she is the one that talks about friendship the most, and I guess that kind of stays inside Yuki's head. Therefore, she ends up being more relevant because of that. Because, you know, but whatever. I mean, she's all right. She might go to C tier because she's not that important. Overall, she is just that type of a character. But anyway, next up, we're gonna be doing. Let's do Yuzu. So let's do Yuzu. Yuzu, I'll put in A tier. I feel like she was built up very well from the beginning of Arc 5, as you guys know. About halfway through, she kind of fell apart, you know, when she became a damsel in distress, and then she kind of became useless after that. She never had another duel again after the whole Sergei duel, and she just became irrelevant. But her entire arc for what she had was very good, where She was first confused about the identity of like Yudo and Yuya and everything else, but then she wanted to become stronger as well to protect her school. So she wanted to learn fusion summoning. So she asked Sora for help, or Sora offered help, one of the two, and she became stronger. She had a rivalry in Matsumi. She lost to her the first time. She learned fusion summoning, had a rematch with her, and then won. And then, you know, I think she had a couple more duels after that, but you know, she was built up very well. She has a really big main role in the story, being that she's one of the 4 girls that combine together to make what's her name? There's Ruri Rin to make Rei, Kabaleel's daughter. She's one of the 4 parts, just like Yuya is one of the 4 parts that make up Zark. So she is important to the main overall plot. So for that, she has to go in A tier as well. And for the first half, she was really good, and then she fell apart during the second half. But I still feel like for what she did, she was good. Keep in mind, I'm comparing these females to I'm comparing each of them compared only to the females. Like, I'm not comparing them to other characters in the show, just the females themselves. So I'm comparing them only to each other. But I would say Yuzu's, for a female, you know, main lead, I would say Yuzu's A tier for now. It might change. We'll see as we go along. I'm gonna put Asuka as. I'll put Asuka as high B tier for now. She could go A tier, but she's not A tier. Let's be real, guys. I mean, she really wasn't important. I mean, she was a cool friend. You know, she got along with Jaden very well, and everyone else. Cyrus, you know, she was posed as a very strong duelist. Obviously, she's the top in Obelisk Blue, the strongest duelist in that, you know, of the females in Obelisk Blue. But I felt like they didn't represent her skills very well in the show. She did duel a few times, but she dueled against random kind of like one-off characters most of the time, or had some goofy gimmicky duels. There was the one duel she had, you know, when she performed well. It's just that, you know, she definitely wasn't important in the overall story. She became more of like Jaden's kind of like side chick in a sense. Well, she's the main chick, but she just kind of follows Jaden around sort of, and she's just there giving him support, and she's just with the group, but she just never felt that relevant in the show. Like, she didn't do much. She's an okay duelist. I don't think she deserves to be the top. But then again, there are no other female duelists in the show to compare to, so compared to every other female, I guess she is the top. But I felt like they didn't represent her deck very well. Cyber Angels are very powerful, well, nowadays, because they, you know, they made her deck like so many years later that they upgraded all their effects and now they're better. But if you take them in face value the way they are in the show, it's really not strong, and her deck isn't very strong either. Like, if you use it the way it is in the anime, with its anime effects and stuff, her deck is really not that strong. So she really does not deserve that title. But I feel like she's okay. She's okay. She's obviously better than Taya, just because she might have been more important. You could even argue that Taya was probably more important, but let's put Asuka on top for now. You know, you could switch. It doesn't really matter. So we're gonna move on. It's gonna be a quick list. We're gonna do Luna. We're gonna put Luna C tier. She just wasn't that good. She just didn't do much. She had an interesting concept where she could enter the spirit world, and they kind of delved into that a little bit, but they didn't delve into it enough. And she definitely wasn't that strong as a duelist. She didn't play that big of a role. She probably should be A tier, just for the simple fact that she was important to the story, because of the fact that she, you know, is, you know, one of the signers, you know, but she didn't do anything. She really didn't do anything as a signer. She very rarely ever dueled, and she did duel. It was in a tag duel with her brother. There was the one time with the tag duel with Jack. But like, she didn't do anything. And that's the sad part with her, where she just felt kind of irrelevant. After a while, she didn't do much. Her skills weren't really up to par. Her deck was just all over the place. It didn't really have any specific playing style or anything. It was just so random. I don't know. Like, the idea for her was good with the whole spirit world, and I wish they could have done more with that. But she just became very irrelevant. So even though she is important to the story, she's almost not important to the story, because she really didn't play a role in the story. She's just important because she has a signer mark. and that's it. But she's just there. She's part of the main cast, but she just feels like a side character, not really all that important, unfortunately. But it is what it is, guys. If you disagree with me, let me know. All right, so next up, we're gonna talk about Katori. We'll put Katori. She's obviously in the same league as Taya. It could go above her before. I feel like she played a bigger role than Taya, in my personal opinion. She was just a sweet girl. She was Yuma's best friend, and she was always by his side. Yeah, she was always by his side. And I felt like as a supporting cheerleader type character, she did a good job. And I felt like when Yuma was at his worst, like when his heart was broken or whenever he was in deep distress, like she was there. Not only with encouraging words, but also like she would pick him up and slap him in the face and say, "Snap out of it! Like, what's wrong with you? Like, get it together." And that's not something you would expect from her. But like, I feel like when it comes to Yuma, I felt like she played a much bigger role in Yuma's life, and definitely like helping him kind of grow. And also, just whenever he was down, she would be there to pick him back up, whether it was through kind words or a slap in the face, or she took charge. I always remember that one episode when they were flying an astral ship, and I think it was crashing or something, or whatever, it was malfunctioning because they were being attacked by monsters and stuff, and everybody was freaking out, and she took control of the ship. She's like, all right, she took control of everything. She's like, all right, guys, you go there, we're going to take control of this, we're gonna make sure that Yuma doesn't worry about us, because Yuma was dueling Vector at the time, and Yuma was worried about them because they were on the ship, but Katori didn't want Yuma to be worried, so she just took complete charge, and everybody listened to her, and they took charge of the ship, and they got back control of the ship, and it was flying straight again. And that scene was very memorable, because just because she wasn't dueling, that doesn't mean she wasn't important. Now, she was a bad duelist, but she's not a duelist. She did duel once, and she was horrible, but that's okay, because she's not a duelist. That's not her role. So I'm not going to judge her for what she's not supposed to be in the first place. But I felt like, as a cheerleader character for Yuma, the main character, she was there, and she was arguably better to me than Taya in some ways. So I'm going to put her above Taya, personally for me. But it is what it is. Next up, we're going to be talking about Aoi Saizen. We'll put her A tier as well. I think she deserves to be A tier. You could even argue maybe she could be above Yuzu. It could go either way, to be honest. I personally like Yuzu more. But at the same time, when you look at Aoi's development and everything, she was very well developed. She was very well written. She just didn't get any wins, really. I mean, she didn't do any. She did a lot of stuff. She was always involved in the story in one way or another, but she never won anything. It shouldn't be about winning the duel, that's for sure. It's not about winning. In terms of a character, she's a good character, so I'll put her above Yuzu. And she stayed relevant throughout the whole show, even though she didn't get any wins. Then again, you could argue Yuzu didn't get any important wins either, so that's a fair argument as well. But yeah, I think overall throughout the whole show she was better. She had a stronger deck too. She was a much stronger duelist, whether it was Trickstars or Marine Cest. Like, she had two very powerful decks, and she was good. She was good. She definitely, I feel like she deserves to be higher than Yuzu, that's for sure, because she was always relevant. She never won a duel against anyone important. So, but hey, she's a female. None of the females get important wins. None of them. Literally none of them get important wins. Except for maybe one. But we'll get to that later. But yeah, so I feel like Aoi Saizen deserves to be above Yuzu. Even though I like Yuzu a little bit more personally. But objectively speaking, Aoi deserves to be on top. Alright, next up we got Roman. So for Roman, she's relatively new, right? We don't know a lot about her. She's also not a duelist. She's not interested in dueling. She did duel one time. She did a rush duel against Yuga, and I'm still trying to decide where to put her. I think she's a great character. I like her personality. She seems like she's going to be a much deeper character moving forward. She seems like she's going to have a bigger role because her brother is going to probably become the main rival of Yuga, and she seems to be taking a lot of pictures. So there's still a lot we don't know, but it seems like they're building stuff up with her for potential in the future. So it seems like she's already, even though it seems like she's very important to the story. Or she's supposed to be. Like, they're building it up, they're throwing hints in there everywhere. She's sending these pictures to her brother, who's obviously going to be the main rival most likely, or a main antagonist in the show, and there could be a lot in there. So you know, this is the I guess I could put her B tier. She's definitely already better than Luna, I feel. But then again, it's underdeveloped. She could be anywhere, obviously. It really doesn't... She can't be S tier, obviously, because she's not quite there just yet. But I'll just put her right here for now. I'll put her right here. It doesn't really matter where she is right now, because we don't know enough about her. She's not that super relevant. We're only 8 episodes in. She hasn't done too much yet, so it is what it is. But she's right there. She's right there for now. You could even put her below. It really doesn't matter right now, because she's too brand new. And then finally we got Akiza. She's obviously S tier. We already know she's the best written main character so far. She also had the same problem where halfway through the show she kind of became more of a, hey, let me follow Yusei around and ride on his motorcycle with him. But I felt like, obviously her season 1 arc was very powerful. Like, she was very deep as a character. She did get some important wins against Misty, a dark signer, which is good, which was a villain. So that's pretty good. That's already probably better than every other female character, you know. I know I think Anzu or Taya did actually get a win against one of the freaking Big Five or whatever, but who cares? They're irrelevant. But yeah, she was just the best written character. She's a signer. She's important to the story. She has a powerful deck, a very good strategy. She was important throughout the whole show for the most part. Obviously, during the second half, she was less relevant. You know, there wasn't too much for her to do, I guess, in terms of personal goals and growth. But, you know, they sprinkled some stuff here and there. You know, she started to become, you know, interested in riding duels because of Yusei and stuff like that. And she became part of the team. She became part of Team 5Ds in the tournament. So she was still relevant in different ways. Just not super duper relevant as she was in season 1. But she's still the best one. Like I guess Aoi and Akiza would be the best 2 girls. But we'll put Akiza S tier because in the community that's pretty much agreed that she is the best main character. And I agree, she's the most complex one, the most interesting one. You could argue Aoi too, she has a complex backstory somewhat, but not as complex as Akiza. She just has the deepest story, the strong deck. She's a strong duelist. She's very relevant, very important to the story, and yeah, she's good. She's just good. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the tier list. Very short. It doesn't take that long to talk about them because there's not a lot of main female leads. They also didn't play huge roles in their individual shows, just in general. So there's just not that much to talk about like there is for rivals or main characters. You know, because the main female characters just don't get as much screen time, as much support as they should, as much love as they should. And it sucks because it really holds them back. But I think this tier list is more or less accurate. Definitely, obviously, people will probably agree with these 3 up here. And some might put Alexis up there, but like I said, in terms of the show, like, she didn't do anything. She wasn't that relevant, and she didn't have any important wins either or anything. She just felt like a sidekick character. Who cares if she has the title of being Obelisk Queen? If she doesn't do anything with that title and show off her skill against important characters and win, then she's kind of useless. It's just how it is. But she's not useless, you know, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's my tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for listening. God bless you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below and in the live chat as well. Alright, God bless you guys. See you guys in the next video. Gotcha!